Hey, what's going on, guys? So I wanted to do a video this year on my Christmas light display at our new house. We didn't put up lights in this house last year because we moved in on Christmas Eve and just it didn't make sense to put lights up, plus we were still all packed up. And I never actually did a Christmas light display video at my old house, so being at a new house, I always find it a little bit challenging to A, figure out how you want to set up your display, and B, if you had a previous home, how you want to try to reuse some of the lights you have, because I didn't want to throw those lights away and have to buy new stuff. I want to figure out how to reuse what I had. So today I'm just going to kind of do a short kind of overview of what I did and what my future plans are in years to come. So I'll first cover the ground game on the front of my house, and then you'll kind of see this ground game just translates over to the side of the house, because with it being a corner lot, I wanted to try to put lights on the front of our house as well as the side, and I'll just show you what I did in all those areas for the ground. And like I said, then I'll move on to what I did on the roof. So on the bushes, I just used your traditional incandescent string light bulbs. There's nothing fancy about these. I primarily used red and green, and I alternated on the bushes, and there was a few bushes that I used white on, but for the most part it was just red and green. And to add a few more lights to the small landscape section on the side of our house, I added this really simple tree. This tree is actually a decoration I've used since I was a little kid when I helped decorate my parents' house. The next thing I did was I used all red C9 incandescent light bulbs to outline the landscaping on either side of my driveway. These are one of my favorite light bulbs to use because I can unscrew them and customize the color pattern with them. To wrap up our ground game this year, we added these red and green LED spotlights or floodlights. We did not have these at our old house, and these were a huge game changer in my opinion because they add a lot of good vibrant color to your overall light display without adding a ton of new lights, and they're also relatively inexpensive as well. The trick I would say to getting the best LED spotlight is get one that actually has a true colored diode in the light bulb. So sometimes you'll get an LED light bulb that has a colored lens, and as you can see on this LED light bulb, it's got a clear lens, but the diode inside is actually a blue diode, so you get a much more vibrant color, and that goes across the board with your green and red light bulbs as well. One last thing I wanted to show you is what I do with my trees. Since I don't have a good way to actually get strands of lights up in the tree, what I do is use these LED spotlights, and I use blue LED spotlights on the trees to kind of light up the tree. It's super cool, and I like using blue for this color. You can use whatever color you want. So what I do is I put these light bulbs at the base of the trunk and just shoot it straight up, and it's really cool because it kind of projects that whole light on the bottom of the branches, and it just looks pretty neat at night. So I forgot to mention one of the small little details that I did to just add a little bit more color to the front of the house was I replaced these light bulbs on either side of our garage and on our porch next to our front door with LED bulbs. They are a true LED light. They're not a covered lens. They're a clear bulb with colored diodes. So you get a much truer color with light bulbs like this. So just wanted to mention that. That's just another thing that I added to the front of the house this year that we didn't have at our old house. So at the old house, we did the front roof line with the white icicle lights, and I didn't want to use those on the roof at this house. I wanted to do something different on the roof. So we took the white icicles and outlined the top of the fence all the way down the fence, and actually wraps down the corner. It looks pretty cool at night. I'm really happy with how that looks. So that kind of wraps up the ground game and what we're doing. And now I'm going to go ahead and talk about what I did on the roof, and what the roof is definitely where I have the most future plans for in years to come. So this year I outlined the front roof line with C9 LED bulbs, and I did double white, double red, and alternated that all the way across the front of the house. So my future plan for improving this year by year, the biggest thing that I want to do is extend the amount of lights I have going around the roof line. I want to make those C9 LED bulbs go around the entire roof line, and then I also want to do the ridges of the roof. That's going to take a couple years to actually do, just because it is pretty expensive to do. That's why this year all I did was just the front of the house, and then I'll add on to that little by little. The other main thing that I want to do with the lights overall is just transition everything to LED bulbs, but that's just expensive to try to do all at once, and I don't like wasting things, so I'll use these lights until they just go out and stop working, and then I'll just transition everything over to LED little by little. So those are all the lights that I'm using in this year's Christmas light display, and this is what it looks like when it's all put together. I'm really happy with how it looks like for it being our first year to put lights on this house. I'm looking forward to just continuing to add on it and build to it each year. Christmas lights are something I look forward to putting up each year. I have very fond memories of doing it with my mom when I was little, so hopefully my kids, when they're a little bit older, they can help me out and do the same thing. So I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you so much for all the support you guys gave me this year. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next one.